Okay, this is the video tutorial that goes along with chapter 4, lesson 4, and today we're going to be taking apart 6 and 7. So for this, you will need, excuse me, your pencil and your counters that are yellow on one side and red on the other side. The directions at the bottom for number 1 say use the counters to show 6. So I'm going to go ahead and get out 6 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6. Then it says break apart the counters into 2 groups to take apart 6. So one way I would do this, I can just slide some over, or I can flip them to the red side so that I can keep track of which counters are broken apart. So I can flip over 2 counters and I can have 2 and 4 make 6. I can flip over 3 counters. 3 and 3 make 6. I can also flip over 5 counters. I have 5 and 1, or 1 and 5. Or I can flip them all over to red, and that's 6 and 0. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go with 4 and 2. And then I'm going to grab my pen here. Oh, well, let me find one that works. Okay. It says break apart the counters into 2 groups to take apart 6. Then circle the counters to show a way to take apart 6. So you can do any way to take apart 6 that you want. I did 4 and 2, so I'm going to circle 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to circle the other 2 separately. So now I have a group of 4 and I have a group of 2. Now we're going to do the same with number 2, except we're going to do it with 7. So I need to add one more counter to make 7. Now I have 7 here. I might want to count again just to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I have 7 counters. And I'm going to flip them again. So I want to flip over 3 counters. So I have 3, 1, 2, 3 red counters. So I'm going to circle a group of 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to circle the rest of them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 left over. So I'm going to circle the group of 1, 2, 3, 4 counters. So I have 3 and 4 make 7. All right, I'm going to flip the page like a book first, and then I'll flip it over like a pancake on this side. All right, this is the guided practice. So for number 3 and 4, it says look at the number, count the objects, trace the dashed circles to show a way to take apart the number. So on these 2, excuse me, they show you the number that they want you to circle. So we have 1, 2, 3, and there's the number 3. So I'm going to circle the dotted lines. This is just for practice. And I'm going to trace the 3. Remember, around the tree, that's the way to make a 3. And then I have 1, 2, 3, and another 3. So I'm going to circle the 3 party invitations, and I'm going to draw another 3. Around the tree, that's the way to make a 3. So 3 and 3 make 6. All right, on number 4, we're going to do the same. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shopping bags or gift bags circled. So I'm going to go ahead and make my circle. I'm going to follow the dots just to make my own circle. And then they have the number 5 here. So we're going to trace the number 5. Remember, neck short, belly fat, Mr. 5 wears a hat. And then over here in the other circle, they have 1, 2 gift bags. So I'm going to go ahead and circle those 2 gift bags. And then down here they have the number 2. So I'm going to trace the number 2. So we have around the bend and down the track, 2, 2, 2. Remember, sometimes saying those rhymes help us remember how to write our numbers. So they're really good to be saying while we're writing. All right, so the directions for number 5 say, look at the number and count the objects. So what is this number? If you're not sure, you can look at across the sky and down from heaven. That's the way to make a 7. That might be one way that you remember. So that's the number 7. Let's count and see if we have 7 cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have the number 7 and we have 7 cameras. The next part of the directions say, circle the objects to show a way to take apart the number, then write the numbers. So you can do it any way you want. You can circle 1 camera and write 1. So down for 1, that's all we're done. And then what's left over is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to circle 6. And we're going to write the number 6 here. Down and around a monkey's tail, the 6 you'll make and never fail. So we have a 1 and a 6, and that's one way to make a 7. Then we're going to flip our paper like a pancake. Now this is independent practice. I'm going to do the first one with you, and then I want you to do the last 2 on your own after the video is over. So for this one, it says look at the number, count the objects. So this is the number, this is the number 6. Let's count how many of these, I don't even know what those are called. They're like megaphones. Okay, they make your voice really big. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 megaphones and we have the number 6. So now the next direction says circle the objects to show a way to take apart the number and write the numbers. Now again, you can choose any way you want to break this apart, but I want you to try different ways, not just 3 and 3 like we've been doing, just to get you used to the number pairs that you can use. So I'm going to go ahead and circle 4, and remember, whatever number of objects that you circle, that's the number that you should be writing on your lines. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to write a 4 right here. Down and over and down once more. That's the way to make a 4. And then what I have left over after I have put those 4 aside is 1, 2. So I'm going to circle those 2 megaphones. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make my 2. Down around the bend and down the track. 2, 2, 2. So I want you to practice doing the rest of these on your own after the video. And then on the back, you're going to flip the page like a book again. You're going to turn it and then flip it back like a pancake onto the back. The directions for number 9, which is right here, number 9 in the Christmas tree, says count how many tiles. Write the number above the tiles. So we're going to count how many tiles. 1, 2, why don't you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 tiles, and it says to write the number above the tiles, so that means up. So we're going to write the number 6 above the tiles. The next thing we're going to do is use tiles to show the number. So we don't have tiles. We're going to use our chips again. So we can use our chips to show the number 6. So I'm going to do that really quick. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 tiles. And then it wants us to take apart a group of 2 tiles. So I'm going to take these 2 tiles over to the side. I'm going to flip them to where they're yellow. So now I have 2 yellow tiles and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 red tiles. Trace the number 2. So we're going to go over here and trace the number 2 because we have our 2 yellow tiles. Then we're going to count the tiles in the other group, or the chips in the other group, which I just did, but you can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we counted 4 red tiles, so we're going to make the number 4. So down and over and down once more. That's the way to make a 4. All right, and then I want you to take a moment to think about another way that you could break apart this 6. Maybe you could flip over 3 of the chips and may have 3 and 3. Oh, it might help if you can see it. Okay. You could have 3 and 3. Or you could flip these back over and you could have 1 yellow, and then you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 1 or 1 and 5 makes 6. So that's another way that you can make it. So I want you to complete number 10 on your own. Maybe if your parent can help you, that would be fine too. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to count the tiles. You're going to write the number of tiles above the tiles. And then you're going to make the tiles with your chips that are red and yellow. And then take 2 away and figure out how many you have left. And that's all for this lesson. All right, great job, guys. I hope to see you soon.